Furiosa, a Mad Max saga had an underwhelming opening box office so far, something that is worryingly symptomatic of wider Hollywood box office problems. Furiosa is connected to 2015's Mad Max, Fury Road as a prequel, set further behind the latter in the Mad Max movie timeline. The film was undoubtedly one of the most anticipated of the year, especially in film-loving circles, primarily due to the immensely positive reception of Fury Road and the fantastic cast assembled for Furiosa. Despite the anticipation for the film, Furiosa's path to Valhalla has been somewhat tarnished. By the time of Furiosa's climactic ending, the film leads right into Mad Max, Fury Road and tells a fantastic, wacky, layered, complex story filled with action set pieces worthy of its predecessor, or successor, chronologically. That said, Furiosa has proven not to resonate with general audiences, begging the question of what went wrong for the Mad Max, Fury Road prequel. How much Furiosa made in its opening weekend? Furiosa's opening weekend numbers weren't good. Anya Taylor-Joy looking down at the camera in Furiosa, a Mad Max saga image via Warner Bros. Furiosa's opening weekend numbers were surprisingly low. As reported by The Hollywood Reporter, Furiosa slumped to a $26 million gross between Friday, May 24, and Sunday, May 26. However, Furiosa was released over the Memorial Day weekend, taking its estimated domestic total to between $31 to $33 million. Concerning how Furiosa fared overseas, the reading is not much better. In territories outside of the United States and Canada, Furiosa, a Mad Max saga earned around $33 million, taking its worldwide total opening weekend haul to a lowly $64 to $66 million. Furiosa's total box office so far, how much the Mad Max prequel has made. Furiosa made $11.5 million in its second weekend. Anya Taylor-Joy as Furiosa custom image by Yider Chacon. Per Deadline, Furiosa made $11.5 million domestically on its second weekend, coming behind the Garfield movie at $13 million. Furiosa's box office has seen a 56% drop from the first weekend, which would not be disastrous on its own but is bad news for the movie considering its disappointing opening weekend. As a comparison, the Garfield movie had a 45% drop from its three-day opening weekend. Furiosa has grossed $49.1 million at the domestic box office as of the writing of this article, with Deadline predicting it will be at $50.4 million by the end of the weekend. In terms of international numbers, Furiosa has so far made $32.8 million overseas. Its biggest competitor, the Garfield movie, has grossed $66.6 million internationally already, although it has been playing in some countries since the beginning of May. While Furiosa's full international numbers for the second weekend have yet to come in, the movie's current earnings point at a shockingly low box official total by the end of its run. Although neither Garfield nor Furiosa has done particularly great in their second weekends, the latter has a much bigger budget. Furiosa reportedly has a production budget of $168 million. Why Furiosa's box office is surprisingly low despite good reviews. Furiosa's negative box office is linked to the wider problems facing Hollywood of late. Furiosa Anya Taylor-Joy D. Ardimentus Chris Hemsworth custom image by Debanjana Chowdhury. Although Furiosa is receiving positive reviews, its box office returns for its opening weekend are underwhelming. Many could point to the film itself and wonder why Furiosa specifically is not resonating with audiences, though the issue is much broader than any one film. Instead, Hollywood as a whole has been suffering with box office success in recent years, with a variety of reasons factoring into this disappointing stretch of failed movies. Furiosa, unfortunately, is simply the latest in a long line of underperforming movies that, if its great reception is anything to go by, should be earning much more.